guys? How's it going? It's X666 X Iron Maiden, and today we had to check out something special. One that I already know, but it did pop up on my list a year. I only seen this like a year ago. It came out 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago, and it's the bassist Simon Groove, who has been part of the Helix Nebula, who does touring bass and album bass for Plini, and here he is doing a playthrough, a bass playthrough, of course, for off of Plini's debut album Handmade Cities, that came out a couple years ago with the song Cascade. Also, just want to do the quick shout out that he also is producing for a lot of the bands in this genre. I do believe a few others. I can't remember specifically which. I don't want to shoot out names in case I'm wrong. I know there's a couple, including obviously Plini, the Helix Nebula. He did some work there. And just makes everything sound amazing, and on top of that is an amazing bass player. So I definitely wanted to check this out, his bass playthrough to Plini's Cascade. Alright, so quickly before we just jump into it, just because it is a bass playthrough, and just so everyone knows the information going along with it, his gear that he's using in the video, just for those of you interested, says he's using a Lafayette Schwarz LHL 5-string. I probably butchered the name, sorry. Tuned low to high C, G, C, F, B, kind of like a 6-string bass with no low B string. A Dark Glass Electronics Microtubes B7K, a Line 6 Helix, and an Elixir Strings. And then obviously, yeah. Where's this? Then obviously you can hit him up. It says here, for production work such as mixing, mastering, guitar bass reamping, or session bass playing, get in touch with him, blah blah blah. You guys can go to the video to get that information, which I highly suggest you do, and check out more of his videos. I'm sure he has more playthroughs and all that on there, which from what I'm seeing here, he has a few others for sure. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up and let's check out his playthrough for Cascade, which is an amazing song. I've actually, I don't think I've ever sat through one of his just him playthroughs. I've seen him in clips in the studio for other songs. I wish I had speakers like those in front of me. This is a coincidence that Groove is his last name, and he carries a groove like just a master. Oh, that's so tasty. Like I get so into it that I'm like looking away from the screen because I love I just get lost in music like this, Plini style. That's such a nice touch. Like instead of just continuing on, just adding in that tapping in there, it just puts such a nice touch on the song, man. Just holding that groove. Nice, man. It's so cool to watch, you know, like I've always been a huge fan of bass. I've said that multiple times on the channel. And Simon's definitely in my top 5. You know, it might not always play the most technical stuff in the world, but Simon here plays for the music that's being played, basically. He's just an amazing musician at just coming up with stuff that just works for what's being done in the song. You know, like that's the type of musicians that always gets me. It's like right now we're doing Nightwish as the daily band. A lot of people that watch this video probably don't watch the Nightwish videos. It's completely different genre. But one thing that I always mention right now while doing those videos is the guitar player, Ampu, for Nightwish is one of those musicians that plays what is needed for the song. And Simon's the exact same as that, where he always just seems to know what brings a song together on the bass, you know. And that is a skill that's not always, I wanted to say not taught, but to a certain degree I guess you could, but it always feels like it's not something everyone can do. It's, you know, like some people just never get it, and some do, and there's a prime example of it here. Just has amazing ability to do that. On top of that, has amazing bass tones as well. On top of that, just sounds appealing to the ear. You can always hear what he's playing really, really well, and you should really check out the Helix Nebula Plini. Just right quick here, I'm gonna go back to his channels to see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Some of these are going like way back. It looks like some of these were covers way back in the day there. Yeah, some of these are going back to like 7 years ago, but yeah, definitely check them out for sure if you enjoyed this, because it doesn't end here, man. Just amazing, just amazing. And I just kind of got lost. I kind of get lost. Sometimes I don't know if it's a thing, but I noticed that I was smiling at one point. I looked over and like, oh man, you're smiling like throughout this whole video, and this style of music, and just does that to me. I think is all it is, and it's just really cool to see it being played too. It's just really, really cool. Hopefully you guys enjoy checking out me. For those of you that will watch it, I know it isn't going to be my most watched video on the channel. A lot of people are here for the daily band or whatnot, but this here is the type of music that really always gets to me personally. It's some of the stuff that I prefer to listen to, Plini and David Maximidge and Situ and all that. It's always had an appeal to me, along with just prog metal in general, which isn't the most popular stuff on the channel, but I get it, because it's not the masses don't really listen to that as much, you know what I mean? It makes sense, but it won't stop me from checking it out and showing them to you guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to see more from me, and go subscribe to Simon, Plini, and all the names I mentioned, because if you like this, they're all worth it, all of them. And yeah, you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you later.